to in fact stay on with us as we have some more breaking inputs on this story. Dozens of fighters were killed in overnight border clashes between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Both sides have said on Sunday in the most serious fighting between the neighbors since the Taliban came to power in Kabul. Tensions have also risen after Islamabad demanded the Taliban to take action against militants who have stepped up their attacks in Pakistan, saying that they operate from havens in Afghanistan. The Taliban, which came to power in 2021, denies that Pakistani militants are present on its soil. Afghanistan's Ministry of Defence had previously said that their operation had finished at midnight local time. Kabul had said on Sunday that it had halted attacks at the request of Qatar and Saudi Arabia. The two Arab Gulf nations had released statements of concerns about the clashes. Shruti, I would like to come back to you on this issue. As you can see, we also have the two Arab nations who are expressing their concerns. And like we've previously mentioned, Afghanistan is taking a leaf out of India's book. And they've said, we achieved our objectives, we have killed so many people, and now we have halted our operations. How do you see that?
Well, it's a good thing that they've halted the operations. It gives them time, instead of just retaliating in a sporadic manner, to plan their next steps carefully. Because as the general mentioned earlier, this is not the end of it. This is just the beginning. And they've triggered the hornet's nest by provoking the Taliban by attacking in Afghanistan's capital, Kabul. So this is something which is going to have repercussions for Pakistan in the long term, because it is already facing a lot of pushback from Balochistan that is repeatedly asking the world to notice its rebellion against the occupying force of Pakistani army. So that is something that is going to come to fore. KPK is going to burn up Lahore. As we know, Tehreek-e-Labbaik is burning it out. There are mass protests. There's blood on the road. So we understand that Pakistan is facing a very, very tough time internally. And by triggering an external conflict to hide its internal errors, it has probably brought more trouble that it can chew on. Saudi Arabia had signed a mutual defense pact where it said that both nations would come to each other's aid when either one was attacked. This was muscle flexed in India's face, trying to show that if Operation Sindoor 2.0 ever happens, Saudi Arabia will not take a neutral stance or a pro-India stance and will come to help Pakistan. But this skirmish has shown that Saudi Arabia will sit by the side and twiddle its thumbs and say, please exercise restraint, because this entire deal was nothing but an exchange of mercenary forces. It meant that Saudi Arabia had bought the Pakistani army to defend against any aggression that is happening in the Middle East, most likely against Yemen, rather than having the Saudi forces come to the defense of Pakistan. So that particular equation has now been solved for the entire world to understand and observe. Qatar, on the other hand, has been making really aggressive geopolitical moves from my end, because they have gained a foothold in US soil by having their own, by having Qatari military F-16 under training, and I'm putting it under quotes, in Idaho. So they've got the US support happening for them, and them stepping out on a conflict like this shows that they want to be the voice of the Middle East, the CENTCOM, that is part of the US division of the world in terms of how they want to control or arrange the narratives and propaganda of the world. So in the CENTCOM, they want to be the voice of sanity, and hence Qatar coming out and speaking out on this particular conflict, where it does not share borders, has no personal interest, shows that they want to be the deciding force or be called the leader of the gang in the CENTCOM region. Beyond that, Iran, which is actually afflicted, has already come out and spoken that it is ready to mediate between these forces. So for me, these other nations coming forth and talking, they have their own personal interests or their personal boundaries that they're trying to mediate. This clash is not the end of it. Pakistan has really bad days in the upcoming days coming.
Absolutely, Shruti. I think some